I had to get these things to magnify it because right here on the top of Homeboy, look at right there. I'll show you something in a little bit. But those are pretty close. I haven't been able to find what I'm looking for though. But I haven't seen any of this stuff online yet. Right? So what's this? 68 to debunk the notion that Ezekiel's will was an alien spaceship, but the NASA engineer designed a viable craft below from the prophet's description. Very cool. Okay, so hovering in the background of this Renaissance painting, the Madonna and Child, an object is radiant. So I have seen that. I believe I've seen these. Right? So those are not new. Not that old though. Old, but not old enough. Let's see. A contemporary painting records dramatic halos seen over Stockholm, Sweden in April 1535, possibly caused by light refracting through ice crystals. Oh, that's interesting. Kind of like the clouds we see now. Right. Engraved onto a French token, minted in 1680. You have a disc. I think I have seen that online. So that's real, I would guess. Anything that I find in here that's still out there today, I would guess would be real. Anything new would not be. Skinwalker Ranch, nah, I never really heard of it. Auroras, comets, ball lightning. Oh, so it's not new. Good. Sun pillars, light refracting from crystals, and high altitude objects cast a shadow. A Brocken specter on clouds. So that's your green color. Cool. Still looks cool. Let's see what else we got. So that's nothing new. Cool. And that would be Russia. I could recognize it now. Fear and Hope in Film, and that's what they did to AI. Also, Aliens and AI, they did that too, didn't they? My guess is fear keeps it going. Keeps it in as popular, so you don't forget. Otherwise, it's not interesting and you forget. So acclamation would be my guess. But no, humans aren't ready for it all, obviously. They're far from it. Ugh, I hated E.T. Hated it. I didn't even watch it. Ugh, don't like it. Info into the saucer era. Cool. I see that too. The truth about the flying saucers. See, but they admit to lying all the time back then too. Oh, here's that famous picture of Roswell. See, in the 60s, they had this tech though, so that's the problem. Oh yeah, weather balloon. Kind of looks like Tesla's. That's cool. U.S. Air Force, U.S. Army. Nice. Wonder if it ever flew. A Wild Goose Chase. This is 1949. In May 1949, the Air Force Task Unit assigned to investigate UFO reports received a tantalizing letter. The writer, a man living in the state of Maryland, explained that years earlier he had purchased stock in a small local company formed to manufacture aircrafts. He had recently become concerned, however, that descriptions of the firm's proposed aircraft closely resembled those of flying saucers. So since 1949, resembled those flying saucers he had read about, he felt compelled to pass this information to the authorities studying UFO sightings. Acting on this tip and hoping it would solve some still unexplained UFO reports, a team of Air Force investigators launched an inquiry into the dealings of the aeronautics firm, which was known as the Grey Goose Corporation. Interesting. And had been founded by Jonathan E. Caldwell. The search led the team and Maryland State Police to a farm in Glen Burnie, Maryland, a suburb 11 miles south of Baltimore. There, stored in an unused tobacco shed, were the weather-beaten remains of two of the Grey Goose Corporation's experimental flying machines, which were noticeably saucer-like in design. One of the devices discovered lying in pieces in the shed above on the right, which would be this one, where'd I go? Was a small helicopter with a conventional fuselage, but mounted over the cockpit was a tripod supporting a disc 14 feet in diameter from which the blades projected. The other far less conventional craft was a spool-like structure consisting of two circular plywood and steel reinforced frames, resembling huge cheese boxes. Right? Show you one more time. The two sections, which were designed to revolve in opposite directions, and had short rotor blades jutting from their rims, were separated by the pilot's cockpit located near the motor mount. Although the investigations had found their evidence, the inventors' whereabouts were unknown. A former carpenter, Caldwell, had taught himself aeronautics from books before forming his manufacturing company. He was even less educated, however, about the business world and had blithely issued stock whenever he needed more money to finance his venture. So he probably got hit for that. By 1940s, Maryland Attorney General, conducting hearings on Caldwell's affairs, and then he took off. Leaving his prototypes, investigators were able, however, to interview a man who claimed to have piloted the disc-shaped helicopter in a Washington, D.C. test flight 10 years earlier. So that would be in 1939? No, 1930? On the basis of the date of the flight and the pilot's report that the craft stayed aloft only a few minutes at an altitude of about 40 feet. The investigators concluded that it could not have been the subject of a UFO sighting. Hence, the suspicions of Caldwell's stockholder yielded nothing, and local saucer reports remained, for the time being, a mystery. This is a lot right there. Wow. What's this say? Donald E. Kehoe, born in 1897, World War II. Late in the 49, true in mass circulation men's adventure magazine commissioned by Kehoe to write a comprehensive, independently researched article on flying saucers. In 1950, True published, under Kehoe's byline, an article entitled The Flying Saucers Are Real. It caused an instant sensation, becoming one of the most widely read and discussed articles in recent publishing history. Kehoe offered no conclusive evidence of his own that UFOs were real. Rather, he built his case around the apparent disarray of Air Force found itself in. He claimed that none of the high-level sources would talk about UFOs, which he took as powerful evidence that there was truth to the reports. He argued that the Air Force would not talk because it was hiding something. Tremendously important. And what else? That's not true, though. Kehoe thought that the authorities were... But what if they didn't know? Project Skyhook, high-altitude research balloon. In 1949. See, we've had this tag. Still, one thing that was missing through it all was any reasonable photograph of a UFO, because photos just came out. But that changed dramatically on May 11th, 1950, when Paul Trent, a farmer in Oregon, took 2 clear photographs of what looked very much like a hovering saucer. I wonder which pictures those are. Thanks for providing them. Let's see. For 2 weeks in 51, soft blue lights ranging in number from 2 to several dozen raced in formation over Lubbock, Texas. Many reliable witnesses report the objects. I don't hear any of this one. And one observer captured them, the 4 photographs shown here. So that is not likely us at all. This is drone formation type thing before we had them. So that's pretty cool. That's new. That's new. Look at those shapes. Unless they were doing projections, which is a possibility, right? Projector tech. Holographic. Never know. They did say they were going to have that project whatever. Scare people in the sky, yeah. But let's see what else we can find. Symbols of harmony. The Oregon Bandits. What's that? Australian psychoanalysts claim to have seen unidentified flying objects several times. The alien occupants of that could have been Australia tech. We don't know. In place of Oregon, Reich. Really? Okay, keep going. I want to find some actual things that we can't debunk. I know life's everywhere. I'm not saying they don't exist at all. Oh, here we go. A radar operator on an Air Force jet that was flying near Bermuda in 1954 detected 7 unidentified objects. That's them. In unison across his radar scope, although a radar check indicated no naval activity in the area. The incident was later attributed to ship movement. Cute. He just didn't like them sound crazy back then. Okay, that's them. So, ocean. We've been hiding in the... Oh, there's our shape. Look at right there. The formation. That's not us. That is not us. But it looks like a flower. Very nice. Air traffic controller Harry G. Barnes tracked some of the UFOs that were reported over Washington, D.C. in 1952. The Air Force blamed the sightings on temperature inversions. Okay, awesome. Illusionist, blah, blah, blah. Shown here making China saucers fly in a 52 Popular Science article. Yeah, we know. Kidnappers. Uh-oh. Here they come. Missing time is normal. Since the 1960s, more and more people have reported not only seeing them, but being taken. While details differ, many of the incidents seem to follow a similar pattern. Most intriguing, perhaps, is the common claim that after the victims observe a UFO, they are surprised to find an hour or two passed, because extreme trauma and stress causes memory loss. Skeptics view these reports, which often include tales of probing physical examinations and even impregnation and extraterrestrials. See, I can see getting DNA, but if they're that advanced, they really don't need to do all that. Except that's kind of what we do to ocean fish, right? And other animals. We're advanced, so whatever. Find signs that they've been under severe trauma, some of the details of their ordeal. See, Barney and Betty was not aliens. They were a biracial couple in the wrong time. And there was another one. I know that we did. We unfortunately did. Yeah. There's a lot we have done to keep you free. Now we have to fix a lot. Yeah, I think that's this one. The presence of an earthly. Stephen Kilburn. His car launched to a stop in Maryland again, huh? 45-year-old shipyard foreman. This is in 1973. The Mercy of Aliens. Remember being led into a brightly lit room. See, we do that here too, though, with our doctors. Night was falling, blah, blah, blah. This is the story. There's that big mountain. They say they did the exchange, so that's not new. Police survey the sky over Cleveland, Texas in November 1957, hoping to spot a cigar-shaped UFO that has recently been sighted. Okay, there's one. I call it a kidney shape. I don't know if we're talking the same things, though. So here are drawings that I haven't seen online that I do remember. So here's the norm, but without the big eyes. I guess that would be like, I don't know, Mothman? I don't know. These are mostly what kids drew, I think. There's this guy, I think that's in the stories of a lot of these tubers. Let's see. Fairies. Oh, look at the fucking dog man. Oh, excuse my French. That's dog man. Oh, I forgot the mummy. I forget the mummy. There's a mummy here somewhere. You see the mummy? Maybe. The Oz Factor. I don't know. I don't care. Let's see more pictures. The lower left, television talk show host Long John Nebel holds a picture of an alleged alien spacecraft, while George Adamski relates his strange tale of friendly visitors from Venus. Among the first to claim Venus? That would be really horrible if we lived in the sky, maybe. Yeah, it's fake. Fake news. That's a fake photo, I can tell you. Next. Oh, the Men in Black. Not new. Yay. That's good. That's how they used to dress. Ruth Norman. Uriel. space fleet that'll help solve Earth's problems. Cool. Maybe she's an empath. I don't know. Space age president. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. If you want a space age president, vote for this guy. That's cool. And this looks like a religious thing. Prayer. Battery with spiritual energy. Awesome. Pretty awesome. Oh, here we are. This one used to get me. This one used to get to me. This is a drawing. Can you see it? Why? I don't know. But that picture used to get to me all the time. Yeah. I don't know why, but it did. So this is almost my writing. Almost. Maybe it's involved. I don't know. It's close. Project Blue Book. Awesome. Oh, here's some pictures. Santa Ana. Yay. And this, look at these cute little cards. Yay. Wonder if these are findable anymore. Look at that guy. That would be hard to fake back then. 63. There we are. Pure, hazy, white, solid object. That's them. That is them. That's what they can do. So that is not us, that's them. This might be us. That was 1960, yeah, probably. Ooh, I know somebody who would be interested in this photo. That would be Secure Team. Look at it, it's the moon. This is March 18th, 1959. I'm not sure if you have it already, but Mr. Tyler would be very interested in that. Length of observation unknown. Number of objects 34. Reported by a civilian. Local 2050. So at night. I don't know what 19-015 Oz is. This is New Jersey, Denville. Other. Static electric was the conclusion. Interesting. Clear, crisp evening of 1959, amateur astronomer Jesse Wilson. So that's why he was looking up. Took a picture of the moon. Through his telescope, he noticed nothing unusual as he peered through the camera's viewfinder fitted against the telescope's eyepiece. Later, however, he discovered that one of the print for the row of the film, so it was really fast. Nice. Yeah, it's probably real. Very cool. Yeah, I would guess. This is just lights. That's not aliens, it's Aurora stuff. How do I know this stuff? I don't know. I just kind of do. So, where are they? Did not observe. Observer took a picture, and the UFO appeared upon developing. Where are you? Oh, there he is. Very cool. That's them again. That's probably us. That would be us, I'm sure. This is cool. This was probably not us, but I don't know. Could be. That's probably not us. That would be a 52. Massachusetts. Nice. Any other good pictures? Let's find out. Okay, so the police reporting it that one time. David Hunt and Eugene Betrand incident. I don't think that's new, or I think that's continued. Philip Class says that all UFO reports are amenable to natural explanation. Yeah, other creatures. 87 codes high flying in Michigan. Just show me a picture. I want to see people drawing pictures like that to Congress. Oh, here's their shapes. Very cool. Different shapes that have been reported. I don't see the one I usually see. Huh. Weird. The fuck is that? What is that? Giant rock in Southern California desert in 66? For the 13th annual spacecraft convention. Awesome. They gathered to swap stories though. Very cool. Yeah, that's why I didn't know what it was. Sketch of a UFO he chased. Okay, that looks like the one we made. Just like it. At the beginning. What trolls, man? Gotta have something to do, right? This says Major Hector Quintanilla Jr., Blue Book, supposed extraterrestrial artifacts that all proved earthly. He holds a copper shell filled with radio parts. Serious. Yeah. Interesting. News release. Yeah, I can care less about that. Then during Enigma. I think that's wrapping it up. Hold on. I'm sure there's not missing. What is this? I don't know. It looks like a TV and aliens. I don't know. I'll read it later. Japan Airlines pilot describes an alleged encounter with 3 UFOs over Alaska during the 86 JAL flight. That's a sketch. Shows the largest craft dwarfed his plane. Oh. Positions relative to the plane and on his radar screen when they were first sighted. Wow, that's kind of a big deal. So there's the picture again. Okay. It's kind of an issue. It's big. Guess they left. Maybe. And blah blah. So there's stuff we've done. Cool stuff we've done. That looks like that water enigma thing. And this is Norway. Nothing. Ooh, that's cool. That's very interesting. Ooh, look at that picture. That's kind of like just there looking at you. How about that one? Looks fake. These dramatic pictures were taken by a Swiss laborer named Edward Meyer. How do you get 2? Ufology, most controversial pictures. Meyer lives in the village of Inwell. Yeah. I don't know how you get 2 like that. It's a little coincidental. Perfect. That looks familiar. When Paul Trent's 50 snapshot reveals the UFO to Reddit form. Edge enhanced below brings out the odd shape Doesn't that look like ours though? Huh. That's real. But I don't know. Might just be ours. Another one. Are they the same guy? Yeah, again, same guy. Oh, no then. Yep, they're fake. Cool. Good to know. You're not gonna have two like that. Most likely not. Even if you look at this guy a lot. These guys camouflage. That's it. Awesome. So now you know what's new propaganda and what's old propaganda. Peace.